So with the Shadow Siege event that just happened the other day in Warzone, we got a new gun. It is, in fact, a different iteration of the M13, the M13C. Apparently the difference between these two is the type of ammunition this one uses, apparently because it has, whoa, because apparently it has like this .3 or this 300 caliber like black like ammo. I don't really know what the major difference with this is. I guess maybe it does like more damage. I don't really know. I'm no gun expert. Yeah, so here's the M13B. Here's the loadout, the quote unquote loadout that I have for it. Okay, so this has the 5.56. So the other one just has different ammunition types. Other than that, I mean, like even if we take off this like barrel, it still looks like a normal, I don't know, man. It just seems like a pointless gun, honestly, but maybe it isn't. Maybe I don't understand guns properly. Like you can fully kit this thing out to be like a really small like little baby like gun, or you can kit it out to look like a regular M13. So there was a leak recently of some rumored guns that may or may not be coming to the game. So this comes from MW3 OG, or the MW2 Ghost on Twitter. The G36, the ACR, more like the MW3 version, the Uzi, the UMP45, the Ballista from Black Ops 2, the CZ Bren. I'm not playing on Hydroelectric. I'm just gonna play the new maps and call it a day. I don't really care. The F2000, the SIG MX Spear, the SPAS 12, oh god, the M93 Rafika, and the Scorpion Evo. Those are some Black Ops 2 guns in there, and I know a lot of those guns are actual like real world guns. I want to mute this guy because his mic is so loud, but I wish they would just show it like on the side, like how they used to do back in the old days. I just would prefer that I shouldn't have to click on a menu button to see people in the lobby. Like I'm trying to find this Mercury guy and mute him, but I could not find him. I haven't seen the Call of Duty community this excited. I talked about this in my previous video, which was a Halo video, which by the way, I know that was a little weird to talk about Call of Duty in a Halo video, but honestly, I couldn't help myself. Like there's just so much information kind of going around right now with MW3, with gaming, with Call of Duty right now, and I just couldn't help it. Honestly, I wanted to talk about it so badly. Yeah, here's the M13C. I'm locked to keyboard and mouse, dude. Give me a break.
Search for this bitch, Jake.
Their microphones are so loud, man. I also decided to build these two M13s, even though it's not showing the icon right here. I decided to build them the exact same, pretty much. There we go. Yeah, same attachments, same everything. Like, there's just some like slight design changes on the guns, but I kind of want to play with them around in like shipment or something or wherever and just kind of see like which one feels the best. I don't think it's gonna matter in hindsight.
You wanna go to jail or you wanna go home?
Okay. With all the movement changes and stuff coming up, man, I'm actually looking forward to it. I just can't wait to see how the game's gonna play. A lot of the creators and stuff, and I know people hate when content creators get their way, are really happy about like all the changes, you know. A lot of people got to go play test it early, like Swag, Dismo, Raid Away. Okay. A lot of people got to go test out the new Warzone and the new Modern Warfare, not the new Warzone, but the new MW. And it's just gotten apparently this overwhelmingly like positive reception across the board from a lot of these creators. Dude, ever since I started playing Halo, I cannot get used to my sensitivity anymore. I feel so fast now. Like Halo is just such a slower paced game, you know? Maybe it just means I just need to up my sensitivity in that game a little bit more. What are you doing? Just chilling over here? I'm more excited to see how the maps are gonna really play out. Like, movement and stuff is cool to me, but I really care about like map design. Like, I know we're gonna be getting the OG Call of Duty maps, but are they gonna be adding like a butt ton of doors? Are they all gonna be just like slightly overly sized? Like, they might increase the size to kind of like make up for the new movement and stuff, which is something you have to do pretty much because like the games are gonna be faster paced than the OG Call of Duties are. So if you don't have good good map like size, there's gonna be a point where the maps feel just a little too big, or sorry, not too big, but too small. Even with the minimal changes they made to sliding in this game, it feels infinitely better. It feels twice as fast now. I'm still a part of the crew that does not need slide canceling. What in the world? I don't know why. Watching it just made me feel disgusted internally. Nothing about that was impressive at all. Maybe it's just because I despise people who try to go hard with the scopeless sniper rifles. It just doesn't look as cool to me. I know you might be asking, Jay, why would anybody care about like what you think? Like, well, I don't think that at all, actually. It's just more of, it looks just kind of cringy. Okay, that's getting out of here. Nice. I have 3 kills. They're all just kind of chilling. I hope the maps in MW3 aren't this just ridiculous. A lot of the... I know one thing, when the MW3 drops, I'm never touching this game again. Like, you know how some people go back to old Call of Duty just for the sake of going back to them, visiting them, just seeing how they are, you know. X numbers of months and years later. Holy cow, what is happening? When MW3 drops, I'm not revisiting this game at all. Like, I'm playing it because I still do, to a degree, enjoy having stuff to do in Call of Duty. Like, I've got the M13C to work on and some other camos and stuff. But aside from that, I don't have a reason to ever come back to it. I mean, like, all the stuff's transferring over to MW3 anyway, all the guns, all the skins. Why would I come back to this game? There's literally no point at all. Speaking of going back to games, I plan on doing a video where I spectate old school Warzone again. You know, it's Caldera, but it'll still be pretty fun.
No, estos buenos me quieren meter un contrato hasta...
Everybody is excited though, man. New movements got everybody hyped. Just the premise of a new game, the hype train is genuinely here like it always is once again. I think the difference though is we actually kind of have stuff to like be excited about. I wasn't hyped when MW2 was announced, only because like after, you know, playing the beta and feeling how like kind of weird it was just not my cup of tea. And then when they announced they were making like a bunch of changes to like the actual game compared to the beta, I just knew it wasn't for me, man. I knew I wasn't gonna have as much fun as a lot of other people were. Like, I still made it for what it was worth. You know, I made content on it, I streamed it, and I had a good time in that process. But I wouldn't put it as like one of my like top like 10 favorite Call of Duties of all time, frankly. Now, I know it's a little ass backwards to be playing the game and complaining about it. I'm not really trying to like hardcore complain about it. I'm just saying, like, for future prospects, I have no like plans of really coming back to it. I just kind of don't really have a point, I guess, you know? MW3 is gonna literally take over like 80% of the reason to play this game. Now, you could come back to this game if you want to like use the old movement, the old like feel like this game kind of has, you know, and that'll be fine. You know, the more tactical, like if you're more one of those kind of guys, one of those tactical players or whatever, like this is definitely a game you can revisit for sure. What? Was he just chilling up there the whole time? Oh my god, he was. That is so unlucky. This is definitely the perfect game to come back though if you generally just want to like, I guess you could say like a noob friendly experience with Call of Duty. Because not an iota of this game is sweaty or competitive for the most part. Call of Duty isn't inherently supposed to be a competitive game, so I still think MW3 is going to have a lot of that like noob friendly feel to it. And the only reason I say that is like with MW19, you hardly ever like encountered noobs that actually knew how to use like the movement, the cracked out gameplay and stuff. They still treated it like a normal Call of Duty for the most part. You didn't have to really worry about them like slide canceling and breaking cameras and all that stuff. They just didn't use it, you know? I think that's one of the bigger arguments too for a lot of people as to why like movement needed to come back, because noobs are just gonna noob. They're not gonna use it, you know what I mean? And not to be disrespectful to people that are like new players, I'm not using noobs like in a negative sense. I'll use it in the sense like you're gonna have your like batch of people that aren't gonna be sweaty, that are still gonna be that like level of casual you would expect from like a Call of Duty community, you know? Like the game at the end of the day is still going to be Call of Duty, so it's not going to be built with competitive in mind for the most part. I do think MW3 is going to be probably the more competitive of the MW like Call of Duties that we've had. Sledgehammer, they know how to learn from their mistakes and make changes based on like what people kind of want, you know? This thing fries actually, what the hell? I got my dead silence too. I've had my dead silence for like 2 minutes. Okay, that guy probably thinks I'm cheating. I literally just saw him run by. Just want to get his satchel or his scavenge pack. I will say, man, the one beautiful thing about coming to like the actual like map playlists and stuff, unlike with shipment 24/7, you know, not everybody's like try-harding in these like other map sets. But the problem is I just don't like 80% of the map sets because they're just not that great, I guess you could say. This guy's around here somewhere. I'm so scared right now. Of course he has a shotgun, man. I mostly want to get that crouch kill. It's still annoying. Get out of that corner. I do think MW3 is going to be sweaty though. And a lot of people are not going to be able to adapt, like how apparently all of us sweaty folk were not able to adapt to this game and how competitive it was supposed to be. I'll never get people telling us to adapt to the Sentinel gameplay. Like, come on, man. When did Call of Duty get focused on like people just sitting in corners and stuff? It's always been a casual game by every definition of the word casual, you know what I mean? It's always meant to just be a fun game. But there's never been a Call of Duty like this one where the like encouraged playstyle was sit in a room. Dude, get out of here. He's probably right above me. Oh no, he's right there. Come on, you don't see him? Give me a break, man. Like the core concept with Call of Duty was like casual play and just being chill, like having a fun time. But it was never like hypothetically encouraged for people to just only camp. Like people camp in every single Call of Duty, in every shooter, Halo, you know, you name it. Like people camp in every single video game. But this game is literally so camper friendly. Like your red dot doesn't show up on the minimap if you shoot an unsuppressed weapon. Dead silence is a rechargeable perk, and then you've got all this unrechargeable equipment for campers that just makes it so you just don't counter it right, in my opinion. That's the problem I have with it. I never hated camping as a playstyle. I really don't care. People are going to camp no matter the Call of Duty, but I like when the playstyles are even enough that you can kind of like counter things, like how you can, like if you're a camper and you want to counter somebody that's moving around, you literally have a bajillion different traps you can use to kind of mess with them, you know what I mean? The more faster paced players, I mean, we lose the red dots on the minimap, and our only like perk that we have to kind of get around them, you know, is a recharging special ability, basically. That just never made sense to me. I don't hate campers. I don't hate people who camp, and to be frank, I camp sometimes. Like sometimes you just want to chill. You're not trying to like go crazy and 360 no scope everybody and be like a super try hard. Sometimes you just want to have fun. But I think there has to be like a middle ground, you know what I mean? You can't give one play style everything and then the other. What the fuck? There has to be a middle ground, and that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, rushers need to have their things that allow them to play the game, and then the chill players, they will obviously get the things that they like want to play with. I don't care if there's claymores and shit in the game everywhere. Whatever. I don't really care that hard. I've said I don't care like 3 times just to clarify that I really don't care. There are ways to get around campers, obviously, in this game. Like you got the drill charges, you got the shock charges. I guess that's really it, you know. But I don't know. I just feel like that's such another cheap cop out to get rid of a camper, because then you could just absolutely abuse the heck out of drill charges in a different way. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be only against campers. Drill charges are one of the most absurdly annoying pieces of equipment we've ever had in a game. I think every player should be allowed to have their playstyle, but when you have one game catered to another, like I wouldn't think it would be fair if a game strictly catered to just sweaty jump shotting. I don't know what the hell that was. I don't think it would be fair if a game just caters solely and only to like a specific playstyle. Like it was just a fast-paced only game that like even the casual chill people can't have fun, and I don't think that's fair. Like there are people who don't take Call of Duty that seriously, and that's just kind of how in hindsight it's supposed to be. That being said, as a guy who's involved with the competitive community, and I go to events, I take photos, I do things in the like amateur side of Call of Duty, I think there needs to just be a balance. You can't have your game slowly cater to one playstyle, and I just think this game catered way too hard to one playstyle. I think there needs to be a mixed bag of things to kind of keep it interesting, on top of the whole like skill-based matchmaking thing. That's such a gray area of an argument, because on one hand I understand why people like it, but on the other hand there's a reason why it isn't that great. Like some days, man, I just get the chillest lobbies, the funnest lobbies that are just really laid back. Like this one was chill. Like I didn't intend, I'm not trying to drop a 30 bomb. The game was just chill. I have no idea what that guy's saying, but it's loud. The only kind of lobbies I do not like are when it's just me versus a 6-stack of people going hard. If it's even, like sweats on both sides, I'm all on board. But if I get put into a game where I have to literally carry the whole team, that shit is annoying. I can't help that I, have awareness and I can think clearly and make, smart decisions. I'm not trying to be a tryhard, but I also don't just like getting shit on. That's just the kind of person I am, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not intentionally trying to make dumb decisions. That's just who I am. But that being said, I can't help whatever my KD is. I just play the game like how I play, And to be fair, it's perfectly fair to match me up with people of my caliber, but it isn't fair to match me up against 6 people of my caliber, while the other 5 people are just crazy, like crazy bad. I don't care if it's like in ranked. I think that it's public matches, casual matches, just be like a jack of all trades to give you lobby variety. I just think there's just so much back and forth in these games, and I think the biggest problem is with Call of Duty, there's so many different types of players now. There's so many people: jetpackers, sly cancelers, campers, OGs, whatever you want to call it, man. There's just too much variety in Call of Duty, funny enough now. You're always going to encounter that one random sweat that genuinely likes to ruin your day and just make things harder on you. But aside from that, I mean, like that's going to happen no matter what. But lobby variety is just key, in my opinion, to making a better, more like immersive experience. Not immersive, I guess. More enjoyable, just a more enjoyable experience, in my opinion. I know you shouldn't get excited about Call of Duty right now, but at the same time, I don't know. I am. Like, I always welcome new experiences regardless. Like, I played this game from start to finish, and I made the most of it and had fun. It wasn't my particularly favorite game, but I still made the most of it. MW3 sounds like it's going to be a game catered to more of my personal playstyle, but I still hope everybody's universally able to have fun with it. I think there needs to be a balance, not just like catering to one specific playstyle. Everything needs a balance. SVMM can even affect the most casual player. Like, imagine you just have that once in a blue moon game where you go like 30 and 10, but normally you go like 5 and 15 or something. You get that one game, and then the game is just like, okay, you're ready for the big leagues. Let's put you against like 7 other people that are just cracked out of their minds. Like, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I don't mind fighting sweats. I have no problem with it. But when the game is just like back to back to back to back lobbies, or me just versus 6 cracked out guys, and it's just me going positive, it takes the fun out of it, you know? I know some people are gonna hate this whole discussion, and maybe some will even criticize me for my opinions on it. I'm just giving my 2 cents on it, man. That's all. I'm not trying to be a douche. I'm not trying to hate on anybody's love for a certain Call of Duty or their play style. I'm just being me. I'm just giving my perspective on the whole thing, you know? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, and I just hope people don't be disrespectful in return. So I think MW3 is gonna be great. Let me know what you think about it.